Oh my goodness.
We're getting ready to start the decaf.
Oh, Cherie.
I started going to blame it on me. You know, I would have did it.
It's the Elamine DNA. We come.
They want to lay down, leave them laying down.
Third finger left hand. That's where I wear my wedding band. Ain't that how the song goes?
Yeah,
That's it.
I think it is.
Second finger left hand. Are we ready?
Yes.
Keep that light. I need that light. No. I can't see. That would be perfect.
I got you.
Oh, you got me? Okay, well, we're going to start now. Right? I'm good. I'm a little blind.
Oh, you got it, Grandma. I got the same thing.
Oh, that's it. That's it. You know that? You beautiful?
All right, I swing.
Okay. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم إن الحمد لله نحمده ونستعينه ونستغفره ونعوذ بالله من شرور أنفسنا ومن سيئات أعمالنا من يهده الله فلا مضل له ومن يضلل فلا هادي له الحمد لله رب العالمين أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وأشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له له الملك وله الحمد وهو كل شيء قدير. يا أيها الناس اتقوا ربكم الذي خلقكم منكم نفسا وهداية وخلق منها زوجها وبث منهما أمهات كثيرا ونساء واتقوا الله الذي تساءلون والأرحام إن الله كان عليكم رقيبا. أما بعد. What I said was, I seek protection, I seek refuge with Allah, God. And before we go any further, let me just clarify this for everyone. When I say Allah, Allah simply means the one God. He's the same God of Moses, of Jesus, of Muhammad, of Abraham, of all of us. That's Allah. From the accursed Shaitan, with Allah's name, the merciful benefactor, the merciful redeemer. Indeed, all praise is due to God. We praise Him and we seek His help, and we beg of Him His forgiveness. We seek protection with God from our own souls, evils, and our own misdeeds. And he whom Allah guides, there is none that can misguide. And he whom Allah leads misguided, there is none that can guide. The praises belong to Allah, Lord of all the worlds, Lord of all the many systems of knowledge. And I give over the testimony that there is no other God but the one God whom we call Allah. And I give over the testimony that Muhammad, sallallahu alaihi wasallam, the prophet to whom the Quran was revealed, is his last prophet and messenger. None has the right to be worshipped but Allah, and He has no partner in worship. There is nothing or no one to be worshipped along with Him. For Him is the kingdom, and all the praises are for Him alone, and He is an authority without limit. I want to recite from the Book of Allah, the Quran, the Book of the Muslims, in Surah 4, An-Nisa, or the woman, in the first verse, where God says, God, as Wajal highly glorified be He says, O mankind. He didn't say, O Muslim. He said, O mankind, everybody. It says, fear or reverence your guardian Lord who created you from a single person, Adam. Create out of it his mate, Eve, and from them scattered like seeds countless men and women. Fear God to whom you demand your mutual rights, and be mindful of the wounds that bore you, for God ever watches over you. Sadaqallahu Dean, surely God speaks the truth. On behalf of Brother Tarik and Sister Antonia, I'd like to welcome you, the families and friends and people of faith, to this day in Nikah for their wedding. As for myself, I have to first thank Allah for allowing me to wake up this morning. You know, 5 million people went to bed last night and didn't get up this morning. So the fact that we got up is nothing short of a blessing and a mercy from God, and it's not something we should ever take for granted. Because it can end just like that. And I thank Him for allowing me to be part of this special event, this Nikah. And Nikah is a very, very special event. And this couple is to be commended for doing it. And a nikah is special in a lot of ways. This is a virtuous act that this couple is doing, taking on today. And it takes thought, and it takes reflection, concern, and consideration, and foresight. Now, Muslim nikah can go and length from a very long service to a very short service, depending upon the circumstances, depending upon the maturity of the couple, depending upon their understanding of their roles in Islam, depending upon any baggage they might bring into this marriage. And having said that, and looking at their ages and knowing what they know about each other, we're not going to be long with this nikah. But I will, in this nikah, as a form of dawah or propagation, explain some of the duties and rights to both of you. So I want both of you to listen carefully, because I've married over 100, maybe 150 couples. And many times they call me later with problems and say, and I said, well, didn't you hear what I said in the ceremony? Weren't you listening? And they're so caught up in getting married that they forget to listen to what's being said. First, let me explain my duty as the imam. We're told in Islam that the imams will be let out in chains. We'll be the first one judged on the day of judgment. And we'll be let out in chains. So I have to make sure that when I marry this couple, that my niyat, my intention is pure, and that the intention of this groom is correct. I'd rather err on the side of the bride than the groom. So she has her father, Mr. Flores, is a wakil, but she also has me to look out for her rights. So we had counseling session. And in our counseling sessions, we talked about things. Is that right? Yes. And we went over a lot of things to make sure so that I can say to Mr. Flores, I can say with certainty, I checked the brother out, he's all right. See, marriage should be for a loving and lasting marriage life together, not for one of convenience or for some other selfish or underhanded reason. You know, some people get married so they can get a green card to come in the country. They don't care about the person. Some men marry women so they can make them their love slave, believe it or not. Some people marry so I'm gonna marry her so he won't get her. They do crazy things. So we have to make sure that this brother's intention is on the up and up. And it is. I believe it is. In this nikah, I'm going to make reference to the Quran, the holy book of the Muslims. And I'm going to make reference to the hadith, or the sunnah of the Prophet, his saying. Everything that the Prophet did and said was written down, unlike most of the other prophets. The only other prophet who had a sunnah, or sunnah means his way. That's why we say we're Sunni Muslims, because we follow the way of Muhammad the Prophet. The only one who really had a sunnah like that was Prophet Isa, Jesus. Prophet Jesus had two people that were with him all through his 3.5-year ministry. Because he only had ministry for 3.5 years, from 30 to 33.5 when he made his ascension. And the two people that were with him all the time, that you never, anytime you seen Jesus, you saw Barnabas and Matthias. You always saw those two with him. And they wrote down everything that Jesus said. So the historical, the fictional Christ and the historical Jesus, you got two different things here. But everything that Jesus said and did, Matthias and Barnabas wrote down. Well, everything the prophet said and did is written down and chronicled. And he made a prayer for everything. He made a prayer when he got up in the morning. He made a prayer when he brushed his teeth. He made a prayer when he went to bed. He made a prayer when he ate. He made a prayer when he looked in the mirror. He made a prayer when he put clothes on. He made a prayer when he made love to his wife. Everything he did, he always gave praise to God. And this is called his sunnah. So we'll talk about his sunnah in this. What is a nikah? We say we're here for a nikah. Does anybody know what the word nikah means? The word nikah actually has three meanings, but for our purposes today, we're going to talk about two meanings for the word nikah. The word nikah means intercourse. It is the lawful intercourse permitted by God between a husband and a wife. Any other intercourse is not permissible and is looked down upon by God. So we say nikah because now it's lawful for them. The second word for nikah is knot. A knot. That's where the term to tie the knot. To tie the knot, they tie the knot, right? They get married. That's what nikah means. So what is the purpose of a knot? What do you use a knot for? A knot is used to keep something together, hold something and bind something, and don't let it go. And the only way you can loosen a knot is how do you loosen a knot? You gotta tug on it. And sometimes you get that knot that's so tight in your shoe, you gotta gnaw on it with your teeth, if you ever remember doing that. You people have a job here today. And when I say you have a job today, your job is more important than his and it's more important than hers. We don't need Brother Benjamin Tariq here today. the Prophet ﷺ married a woman in Abyssinia, which is now what we know as Ethiopia. He wasn't even there. Somebody stood in for him. So we don't need the groom. If we were in an Arab country, she wouldn't even be in the room. Her father would be in the room with Tarik and me, and we'd be signing the marriage contract. So we don't even need the bride here today. But what we have to have, and this is what I said to you, it's important that you hear and you listen, we need witnesses. Because the prophet said, he who marries in secret is an adulterer. We have to have people to witness it. So that 3 months from now, you see Tarik on the corner with some other woman. You say, hey, bro, I thought you white. What you doing? That's what witnesses are for. Keep this marriage solid and tight together. So, I need you to pay attention. And if you don't hear something, say, I ain't hear that. Later on down the line. All right?